Hello, Darren Alff here from Bicycle Touring Pro. I am in the middle of the forest right now, in the middle of a bicycle tour, in the middle of a meal. I just finished cooking up some vegetable soup on my camp stove. And I thought that while I'm cooking food right now and thinking about food always tastes better when you're on a bike tour. Like, this could be the most mediocre food in the whole world. It would be like amazing after a full day of cycling. So food is on my mind at the moment, and I thought I would share with you 5 of the best meals I have had on my bike tours all around the world. I've been traveling on my bike now for 21 years. I've gone to 70 plus different countries. I've eaten thousands and thousands of meals. Most of them are pretty bad, to be honest, but there are a few that stand out as being really, really good. So I'm just gonna share some of those meals with you. Unfortunately, I don't have photos of each and every one of the meals that I've had, but for those meals that I do have photos of, I will share them with you here. So pizza is like my go-to food when I'm traveling. I'm a vegetarian. I'm a lifelong vegetarian. I've never eaten meat in my entire life. Like I think when I was like 10, I had chemical nuggets from McDonald's for like, you know, a few times or something, but other than that, I've basically never eaten meat. Maybe I had turkey at Thanksgiving also when I was like 10 years old. Didn't know what it was, haven't had it since. So I'm a lifelong vegetarian, and finding food on the road can be very, very difficult, although I have to admit being vegetarian or vegan has become a whole lot easier in recent years as that style of eating has become more popular. So I'm definitely riding the wave and enjoying the fact that there are more vegan and vegetarian restaurants and options for people like me out on the road. That being said, I have struggled over the years to find food that I can eat. So pizza is one of my go-to meals. I do eat cheese on occasion, not a lot, but I will eat it. So pizza is like something that I can eat. You know, I get a vegetable pizza usually. Or my favorite is pizza with olives, black olives on it. So I get pizzas all the time because sometimes that's the only thing that I can find that's actually vegetarian. So I've eaten so many damn pizzas, you wouldn't even believe it. But one of the best pizzas, the best pizza that I've ever had in my entire freaking life was in Macedonia. I forget the name of the town, but the restaurant was called Elizabeth's Pizzeria, I believe. And it was near the border of like Greece, I believe. So I was just about to cross into Greece from Macedonia. I went to this Elizabeth's Pizzeria, got a vegetarian pizza. Oh my goodness. The thing that made it good, in my opinion, was it was spicy. You know, so many pizzas are just bland. They taste like cardboard or whatever. This thing was like an orchestra in your mouth. Like, there were so many spices. And there were olives on it that were spicy. Oh, damn, it was so good. And I ended up staying in this town for like 2 nights, and I think I had pizza there 3 times. Had it for lunch, you know, I had it for dinner, then lunch and dinner the next day, and then I was gone. But whenever I dream about pizza, I dream about Elizabeth's Pizzeria in Macedonia. Another one of my favorite meals is also very spicy. I'm from Southern California, and so I was like raised on Mexican food. I eat Mexican food like 3 times a week, and I love it, you know, the vegetarian Mexican food. But one of the things that I've discovered traveling the world is that Mexican food is not everywhere. Like, Chinese food is kind of everywhere, pizza is kind of everywhere, but Mexican food is definitely not everywhere. And so when I'm traveling, I'm always looking for Mexican food. And when I find it, I try it. And God, I've had some terrible Mexican food on my travels. But the best foreign restaurant, I guess I could say, for having Mexican food outside of North America was in Barcelona, Spain. There's a restaurant there called Burrito. and they have these burritos that have like cactus in them, and you're able to choose what level of spice you want in your burrito, right? So I got the vegetarian cactus burrito, and I ordered it with like the hottest spice that they had. And this thing blew me up. Like, my face was like sweating, my mouth is all tingling and everything, but like in the best possible way. It was so good. And I think I've gone to Senor Burrito probably about 4 times, you know, during the time that I've been in Barcelona. So like, I would highly recommend it. If it's still there, Senor Burrito in Barcelona, you win the prize. Best burrito in all of Europe. So we've covered Europe. Let's talk about Asia a little bit. I went to Taiwan a few years ago with my friend Kevin, who's from Australia. Many of you may remember him. We spent a month together cycling around the island of Taiwan, and then I stayed in Taiwan for another month myself, and I stayed there to bike. I played ping pong, and so I was playing ping pong with the locals, and I just stayed there to kind of live the life of someone in Taiwan. Well, I would rate the food in Taiwan overall as like a C-. I thought the food there was pretty damn bad, and I was very happy to leave the country after 2 months because I felt like I wasn't eating the way that I should be as a vegetarian. That being said, there was one day on our bike tour with Kevin, one day on our bike tour where we rode up to, I think it's called Sun Moon Lake. It's like this really high lake. It took us 2 whole days to ride our bikes up to the top of this thing. And we get up there and we stay in a hotel for the night, and near the hotel was this like Buddhist vegetarian restaurant that only serves like vegetarian food to monks, basically. So Kevin and I are in this Chinese style restaurant eating, you know, with monks on the edge of Sun Moon Lake, and the woman comes over and she's got the menu, and it's all in Chinese or Taiwanese, whatever you want to call it, and we can't read it, you know. So we just basically point at the menu and say, that's what we want and that's what we want, and hope that we get something good. And I was so scared. I was like, this is Kevin, this is going to be terrible. Whatever this is, it's going to be terrible. And they brought out, it was like this really old woman. She brought out this meal, and it was in a bowl, and it was basically what it was rice with like a little bit of vegetables on top with this green sauce over the top of everything. And just to paint like a visual picture of what this looked like, it looked like a huge amount of snot just like on top of rice. That's what it looked like, and the color was disgusting. And I just remember thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to eat this. But I ate it, and it turned out to be the best thing that I ate in all of Taiwan. In fact, it's one of the best Asian meals that I've ever eaten in my entire life, and I have no idea what that green sauce was. It looked horrible, but it tasted so delicious. Kevin and I went back there, I think 2 times, and I ordered the same thing. It was that good. And honestly, if I were to go back to Taiwan today, I would be booking it to Sun Moon Lake to eat at that restaurant and get that same damn meal. I don't know what it was. I don't know what like it was called. I don't know if that restaurant's even there anymore, but it was damn good. Now, let's fly to South America, because South America is yet another place where I have struggled to find quality vegetarian or vegan food. I spent 6 months, gosh, this is like 10 years ago now, but I spent 6 months backpacking across Peru, and overall I'd give Peru a D- in regards to their food. I was basically surviving off of crackers and fruit. I think if you ate meat, you had a lot more options in Peru. So after 6 months of traveling in Peru, I learned that like I should actually read the Lonely Planet books, because they recommend certain restaurants that are actually kind of good. And I had tried to be a real traveler and just go into random restaurants and hope for the best, but like that almost never worked out. Some of the food was so bad. I actually got into a habit when I was in Peru of ordering 2 meals every single time I would go to a new restaurant, because I was just hoping that one of these meals would be edible. And oftentimes neither one of them were edible. So anyways, I'm in Cusco, Peru. I read the Lonely Planet guidebook, and there's a restaurant there. Again, I apologize, I don't remember the name of it, but it was halfway up the hill. Those of you who have been to Cusco will know what I'm talking about, but it's halfway up the hill, or maybe even all the way up the hill. It's a Subway sandwich shop essentially, and they make like warm sandwiches with French fries, and I would go there every single day. I spent a month and a half in Cusco, Peru. I'd go there every day, every other day. I mean, I was there 2 times a day sometimes. It was so good. I got this vegetarian Subway sandwich. It had avocado on it, and it came with like a side of French fries that were like the thick fries, and it was so good. Best thing I ate in Peru, best thing I've probably eaten in all of South America, honestly. It was a simple Subway style sandwich. It was like warm, with avocados and a whole bunch of other vegetables and a side of frickin' French fries. Simple but delicious. Finally, we've covered Europe, we've gone to Asia, we've gone to South America, now we got North America. The best meal that I have ever had in North America was not cooked at a restaurant, but was actually cooked by an ex-New York chef who I met in the middle of Kansas on my second long-distance bike tour. So 2002 it was. I was 18 years old, and I was riding across America on the Trans-America bike route, which goes from east to west or west to east. I had just crossed the border from Kansas into Colorado, and oh, did I say it was in Kansas? It was in Colorado, sorry. Anyways, it was in eastern Colorado, and I go up to this gas station, and I'm asking them if I can like camp behind the gas station basically, and for the night. You know, I've just biked like 90 miles through the wind, and this guy comes up to me. He's like shirtless, and he's got a huge beer belly, and he's dark as all hell, you know, because he's like never worn a shirt in his entire life, it looks like. He comes up to me and he says, "Hey buddy, you looking for a place to sleep tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I own a farm down the road. You want to come there and spend the night? I'll cook you a meal. You can use my shower," and all this kind of stuff, you know. And normally I'm not the kind of person to just go with a random stranger, especially because I was like 18 at the time, and like I had grown up with my mom telling me like, don't listen to strangers, and you know, that kind of thing. But I was also a very cheap and broke 18-year-old, and I didn't want to spend money to camp behind this nasty old gas station. So I tell the guy that I'll follow him on my bike over to his house, and that's exactly what I did. When I get there, he tells me that he used to be a chef in New York City, and that he's gonna, you know, I'm gonna take a shower, and while I'm in the shower, he's gonna cook me up a meal. And I tell him I'm vegetarian. So he says, "Oh yeah, no problem, I'll make you some pasta or something." I was like, "Yeah, that would be great, you know." So I take the shower, I come out, he's got the meal already done and everything. It's this giant bowl of fettuccine pasta, you know, like the thick noodles with oil on top, and there's vegetables on top of the pile of noodles, and it was just huge, like a massive bowl with mushrooms, and I don't even remember what else was on there. I just remember the noodles were so damn good. But I sat at that table, his like dining room table, for like an hour eating this whole thing. I mean, I was so hungry, and it was so good. It was honestly the best like Italian meal that I've ever had in my entire life. It was damn good. Like, I try to make pasta and stuff for myself sometimes, and it never comes out as good as it, you know, is when you go to a restaurant or something like this. But this was like above and beyond anything I've ever had at any Italian restaurant anywhere in the world, including in Italy. So that is the best meal that I've ever had, and it's partially because the meal was damn good, but also because this was my first time ever, you know, at age 18, being invited into a complete stranger's home and having them cook a meal for me and letting me sleep there and letting me use their shower and all that sort of stuff. So it was kind of a meaningful meal in that regard. It was damn good, and it had meaning behind it as well. So those are the stories of my 5 best meals from my travels by bike all around the world. If you like this video, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you have a meal that you'd like to tell me about, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about your favorite meal, or maybe some of your favorite meals from your travels anywhere in the world. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to smash that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, I publish new videos basically like once a week, if not more. And I would really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell button too, so you're notified each and every time I publish a new video. If you like this video and you'd like me to do more of these kind of like storytelling sort of videos, leave a comment, let me know. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you out on the road sometime soon. I'm gonna finish my soup now. It's starting to get cold, so, oh man. I just eat straight out of the pot. What the hell? This is canned vegetarian vegetable soup. Doesn't quite live up to the 5 meals that I've just described to you, but for the moment, I'll take it.